Yeah, still continuing on the things to avoid when you are writing your resume. We've talked about three things already to avoid. You can check on my bio to see that I'm continuing today, and I'm continuing with three other different things to avoid. And I need you to avoid it really, really, really well. So, first thing I want you to avoid today is your full bio on your application, on your resume. That's absolutely a turn off for any recruiter. It's not absolutely not necessary for you to tell me your date of birth, for you to tell me your place of birth, to tell me your address, your phone number, your everything about you is absolutely not necessary. What is required in your resume are just two things: your email address and your phone number. When the recruiter is interested in you, he will give you a ring and tell you and ask you where you are, if you can come in, if you can do this, if you can do that. So you don't want to be telling someone already. Let's say, for example, you are in South London and the job you are applying for is in West London. You don't want to be telling the recruiter that you are far away. The recruiter can look at that and say, no, it's absolutely not necessary. And the recruiter was going to give you that job because your address speaks otherwise. The recruiter will start thinking, he or she, would they be able to come to work? Would they have issues, or would the company now pay for them to relocate? These are the things you need to avoid. So don't give them any reason to reconsider you as the ideal candidate for the role. So you have no business putting your address, just your phone number and your email. That is what you need for them to contact you. Every other thing is totally irrelevant, and I need you to stop putting it on your resume. Secondly, I'd like you to stop using email addresses that are not relevant. Please, an ideal email address should be your name and your surname at gmail.com. That's one of the popular email accounts that most persons use on the professional scale. So that is what you should be using. So it's absolutely a turn off for you to see an email and you see Boy Scout 245. Come on, it's absolutely not you. Your name is not Boy Scout 245. Your name is whatever it is. So kindly put your name and your surname at Gmail. If it has been taken for one reason or the other, try to put a dot or try to put a comma. Just to, at the end of the day, ensure that it's your name and your surname at gmail.com. Pretty straightforward, because we want to keep it professional. When the mail drop, the recruiter should be able to see where it's coming from, should be able to ideal the mail. Does that make sense? And finally, please, I ask and I beg of you to stop putting information that are absolutely not relevant to the role that you are going for. So there is no one CV fits all. No, there is no one CV fits all. For every job you are applying for, you are supposed to tweak the CV a bit to fit that role. So there's something called person specific, job role person specific. So there is a person that they've profiled. There is a profile for an ideal candidate. I'd like you to always check that person, that profile that they've created, and craft your own CV to play around that qualification, that profile that they've given, because that's the only way you'll be getting closer and closer to landing your job.